Okay, hello. Welcome to this unit review. I'm going to review the new Valentines units in Fire Emblem Heroes, and I've written out their preferred skill and their weapon skill on flashcards. So I'll just be going over what they get in their kit. I won't talk too much about their inheritable skills. They look really good, but I'll just focus on their exclusive skills here. So we're going to start with Edelgard. So in her weapon, she gets Slaying, of course, and Canto. I think it's a minimum of 2. She also gets to take an extra action, and it gives her Canto again. She inflicts approximately minus 16 attack defense on the foe. That'll depend on, I think it's based off of her defense. So the numbers in these are going to fluctuate, but I tend to just give an approximation. As for, she gets 25 true damage. That's based off of if she has 5 bonuses on her or 5 penalties on the opponent. So if she has 3 bonuses on herself, 2 penalties on the opponent, she'll get 25 true damage. She'll get 15 flat damage reduction, and then another 15 flat damage reduction against a triggered special. And that's all based off of the bonuses and penalties active on unit and foe. And then she gets 7 HP after combat. So that might kind of mess up some people doing a Wings of Mercy beacon and a Gale Force strategy, but it's good if you're just hoping she stays healthy. It's kind of interesting this weapon doesn't give her any stats, actually. Not that she probably needs them too much. Instead, it just inflicts the minus 16 attack defense on foe. And that's some pretty massive true damage. You're going to notice this is a trend in these Valentines units. So, yeah, that's what her weapon does. Then we've got Pure Storm. So this is a pretty interesting B skill. She's also, by the way, she's an Axe Armor unit, Edelgard. Should have mentioned that. So after her action and at the start of turn, she inflicts Sabotage, minus 7 attack defense penalty, and Exposure on opponents. I can't remember. Oh, let's see here. I've got it on closest foes and foes within 2 spaces of those foes. So this is going to be pretty cool in summoner duels because you can inflict the foes with penalties in the middle of the turn. So I think that that's going to be pretty good. And then also she inflicts attack defense minus 5 on foe. She gets approximately 10 true damage. I think that's based off of her defense. So I approximated that she'd have around 50 defense. So that can fluctuate. She gets half DR Pierce, so any damage reduction the foe has, if it's not special related to the special, it's pierced by 50%. Then she gets an extra action again. So in her kit, she can take 2 extra actions, but she can't use her specials. Don't trigger during extra actions. So I think she comes with Armored Blaze, and that doesn't trigger during her extra actions. So all in all, Edelgard, once again, looks really strong. Lots of true damage, lots of flat DR. And then I think pretty interesting utility inflicting Sabotage and Exposure in the middle of the turn. That could come in pretty clutch sometimes in summoner duels. So let's move on to the next one. We've got Dimitri. So Dimitri has Slaying and Canto. He also gets to take an extra action. He gets +1 move. Then he gives a bonus to himself and his allies within 2 spaces. He gives the Breath, so +1 special acceleration, or special, yeah, I think that's just called Breath. So you get the +1 special cooldown charge. And then he also gives the bonus status effect to neutralize penalties. He gets +13 approximately to all stats. He gets 25 true damage, same as Edelgard with the bonus and penalties. 25 true damage, and I think that's going to be maxed out most of the time. 15 flat DR, 15 flat DR against specials, and then the 7 HP. So some nice support here, giving out the breath, kind of like what Thor does. Also neutralizing penalties, and then just like it is amazing. Like you get an extra action built in. You're getting slang, canto. Like, I mean, these weapons they're really crazy compared to the refines we just got. And the refines they're okay. Some of them are okay, but like these weapons just make them look pretty bad in comparison. All right, and then Dimitri gets Pure Atrocity as his B skill, and he's a cav unit, so I don't think there's as many good B skills for cavalry compared to infantry or armor. So he's going to be making really good use of this B skill. He inflicts -5 speed and defense. He gets 18 true damage approximately. He gets preempt pulse, null follow up. He gets the half DR piercing. So if they have 80% damage reduction, it'll be turned into 40% damage reduction from non specials. Then he inflicts the Divine Vein Haze. And then, very interestingly, he erases 2 bonuses on the unit if it survives and the foes closest to that target foe. So Pure Atrocity, I mean, Dimitri honestly seems pretty cool. Like, this would maybe be the one I'd want to get. I mean, it's hard to choose though. Like, they're all really good. But I just think the erasing foes bonuses is very interesting. And he also just seems like a really good nuke and can also take quite a hit. So yeah, Dimitri looking really cool. Next up, we've got Claude. He has the slaying and canto as well, and the extra action. He gives out null follow-up and preempt pulse to his allies and himself. He gets plus 13 to all stats, approximately. He has the 25 true damage. He doesn't have any DR in his weapon, but he gets the and Claude is a blue cav archer. Dimitri was a red sword cav. So yeah, anyway, Claude 25 true damage. He has the offensive half tempo, so he can't have his special cooldown charges. Like, he can't be affected by guard. Then he gets 7 HP after combat, like the other two guys. Then he has Pure Starfall, which has a lot of effects here. Inflicts speed defense -5 on foe. Gives approximately 12 true damage and 12 flat damage reduction. Inflicts Scowl, which is the one that increases their... if their special cooldown is lower than its max, it puts it up by +1. That was probably a bad explanation. But yeah, it basically screws over their special triggers a little bit. Not always, but it can work out good. It's what dragons usually have. So kind of cool Claude has this as a cavalry archer. Then, oh yeah, and I guess also, like, he's a cavalry archer and he gets an extra action. So maybe him and Leaf are the only... And then the Golvegs are the main characters who are ranged that can take extra actions, to my knowledge. And Claude being one of the other physical units that can do that, along with Legendary Leaf. And then also, yeah, so he gets Scowl. He gets the half damage reduction piercing. He gets 80% damage reduction and Deep Star. I think this is if he initiates combat only, though. But 80% damage reduction, if they don't have the damage reduction piercing, that's a lot. And I'm pretty sure he gets the 80% damage reduction and he gets Deep Star, which gives another 80% damage reduction. I might be wrong about that, but that was my understanding of reading the weapon, is that he gets both. Like, he gets Deep Star after he attacks, and then he gets the damage reduction as he attacks. Oh, so maybe he won't... Maybe the damage reduction first one's only in his first combat. I'd have to read the skills again. But anyway, yeah, he also gets Vantage after he attacks. So he can just take someone out and then just sit there, and he comes with attack speed prime, so then he can just pick off whoever attacks him. Or if you give him like close counter, he could do it as well. But I don't think it should be a problem getting buffs on this guy, generally speaking, unless he faces Dimitri, who erases his buffs. As well, he inflicts gravity on foes within one space of target. So all in all, this seems really interesting. Um, just can go in and survive a hit and just deal a bunch of damage, and then also sit that plop there, be a vantage unit, and inflicts gravity as well. So yeah, I guess we'll see in practice how good this is, but it seems pretty good, especially because you can, if you have him like with Marissa and then give him Brave, like it's gonna be a lot of damage. Yeah, if you can give him Brave, because he doesn't have Brave built into his weapon, so he can get that drive Brave from Marissa or uh, Bridal Bridal Catria or Winter Cordelia. All right, let's go to the last unit here. We've got Duo Rhea. So I looked at the duo skill briefly. I can't remember what it does now though. But she's a duo unit. She has slang. She doesn't isn't impacted by dragon effectiveness, so no damage from Falchion. And then she has this really interesting support where she gives drive. So to allies within 2 spaces, +5 defense and res, 7 flat damage reduction, and miracle. So kind of like Ymir gives the miracle, but this is only if foe initiates combat, so it won't work with offensive nuking and then trying to keep your guy alive. Then she herself gets 15 true damage, 15 flat DR, miracle. I kind of wrote this a bit funny, but 15 flat DR, miracle. She has the half damage reduction piercing. She gets a follow-up attack, and has +15 to attack, defense, and res. So yeah, I mean you're mainly using this because comes with a lower ground, so denies warping and is a near save. So she's gonna be a really good savior unit, as well as just giving that miracle support. Definitely will see a lot of use, I think, out of that. And then her B skill, Pure Dragon Wall. So she gets the Phantom Res +5. That's if a skill compares res checks, hers is considered 5 higher. She gets 60 to 40% damage reduction. It's kind of conditional based off of, I think, how many combats she's been in. So that's pierceable damage reduction, but still, like, that's pretty high, 60%. And then on top of that, she gets inflicts -5 attack, defense, res on foe during combat. She gets the 13 true damage, 13 flat damage reduction. That's based off of her approximated res stat. She has the offensive half tempo, so her special cooldown charge will not be minused. She gets preempt pulse. She has scowl, and she restores 10 HP after combat. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, how tanky is this? Like, if they had, like, is she gonna go down if you have, like, she's got 13 flat DR in Dragon Wall, and then 15 flat DR in her weapon, and then she has Miracle. So that's 28 flat damage reduction approximately. And then if you don't have damage reduction piercing, like, she's gonna have the 40% damage reduction. So yeah, I'm curious how tanky this will be. It looks like a good mix of, and then, like, she just casually gets like 15 true damage from her weapon and 13 true damage from her Pure Dragon Wall. Like, that's gonna be a lot of damage too. And she has the damage reduction piercing. So yeah, this is gonna be, and +15 to attack. So I mean, this looks like a pretty good unit. And she has a dual skill that, maybe I'll just quickly look up what the duo skill is here. I've got the video kind of ready to go here. Yeah, so her duo skill is grants, neutralizes foes' bonuses during combat, and applies Divine Vein Stone. So that's very annoying if you're, like, running bonus doubler strategies. She's just gonna neutralize all the foes' bonuses during combat. And that she grants that status to unit and allies within 2 spaces. Then she also applies the Divine Vein Stone within 2 spaces of unit. And it lasts for 2 turns instead of 1. So yeah, very good. Very good duo skill. And And what else was I was checking something else. Oh yeah, so I guess she has kind of double scowl because she also comes with scowl in her kit, and then she inflicts scowl with her B skill. So it's gonna have double scowl. Yeah, that's the banner. Thanks for listening and watching. Let me know what you guys think if I should do more unit reviews using flashcards. I kind of find it fun writing them out because then you can really hopefully I don't miss anything because I'm not looking at the actual skills. I'm just looking at my writing. But I really enjoyed writing them out. It kind of gives you perspective on just how many keywords are in these texts and trying to simplify it. Yeah, so maybe I'll do like some unit reviews of just like old refines or other characters in the game and just kind of review their kit. It's a bit much to do 4 at once, but this could be kind of a fun little thing, like weekly thing, just doing a unit review with flashcards. So like the tactile, just kind of holding these little cards and yeah. Anyway, that's the Valentine's banner. It comes out tonight, so I'm gonna be curious what their stat spreads are. You can usually kind of guess them, but I'm also gonna be, if I get the Fey Pass, I'll definitely summon on this banner because I'm sure the Spark will be locked behind Fey Pass, but we'll see. Yeah, that's the unit review of the Valentine's 2025 banner. And yeah, have a great day. See you in the next one.